I've met up with Lorna,
Make it quick.
where the refugees lived. I'm glad to have you here. We are surrounded by Forsaken on all sides and can use all the help we can get. Of course, we recently found out that the village at Emberstone survived most of the ravages of the curse. Unfortunately, their village wasn't as fortunate when it came to the Forsaken invasion. The Forsaken have taken the villagers prisoner and are forcing them to work the nearby mine as slaves. Ah, I will free them, sister. Magda, what do you have?
Bad feeling.
I'm not dumb. I know what's ahead of us. Our people are going to go through those gates and fight against an enemy that is better trained, has more numbers and better weapons than us.
Watch your back.
Even if we succeed, it will be at great cost. For most of us, today's meal will be the last. I cannot fight, but I sure can cook. Bring me meat from the stags that roam this area, and I will ensure that the last meal these folks get will be their best, she said. I noticed Marcus needed something as well, so I spoke to him. I was once of the few that escaped. When the Forsaken took over our town and our mine, they treated us with utmost cruelty. Those of us who were weak and could not endure hard labor were worked to death by by the abomination known as Broadhog. My wife was among his victims, Hunter, and I swore that one day her death would be avenged. I'm too frail now, but you can deliver justice for my wife. For Gilneas! Aye, old man, will do. With my stick at my side and the raptor to it, I went outside and hunted some stags. We had to feast our last meal, perhaps. The question was, how far could we take this? And how long would we survive? The battle ahead of us was a cruel one, and certainly it would not be easy. So rations are most appreciated. I killed a few stags, got some meat from them. As a professionalist, as a worgen, I managed to get more than usual out of them. Their skin I left behind. I'm too stupid to know how to use it properly. I saw nearby the mine that our friends spoke of. It was time for me to attack it, but before that I killed one more stag. I decided I would run towards the mine to get as many out of there as I could. They said 5 was enough. I dare to disagree. 5 are just a few. I would save them all if I could. Forsaken, waiting just to get slaughtered by my beautiful, beautiful stick. That still annoyed the hell out of me. I went inside the mine, slaughtered every single one of them. These Forsaken slave drivers were disgusting as every other Forsaken I ever met in my life. Good to know they had the keys to unlock the prisoners. A rogue would probably have a easier task than me, but I was no rogue, I was a hunter. My beasts were my allies, so I ran inside and seek more of those keys. Sought more of those keys. I found a few more undead, just waiting around the corner. I had to slaughter them. They had me outnumbered, or so it would seem, if I wouldn't have the beast at my side. The beast giving me power. I knew I couldn't lose against fiendish beings like them. I freed 2 more brethren and then ran towards the Broadhawk. I didn't think it was still enough. Counting is really hard for me. I decided I had to sprint. There was no time to waste. I couldn't let any more die by the cruel hand of Forsaken. They had to die. All. All of them. Every one last of them had to be brought to their knees. I freed another one and decided I would kill some more. Well, I would let my beast do it. Before I saw the other one come our way, I had to aid my beast. So I did. I would not let my beast die. I couldn't find any more of those keys. So I was so close, I could smell the abomination. It was before me. Brotoch, the slave master, they called him. I knew I had to fight him. I shot a poisonous arrow at him and started fighting him. I let the beast take the front side, and with nature magic I aided his wounds. I couldn't just let him die there. No, that would not be the proper hunter way. We might tame the beast, we might use them for battles, but we would never be as cruel as humans can be. After all, we all are partially hunters. We all are partially also beasts. We care for our friends and our family. I ran towards the exit. A fellow Worgen ran inside, rescuing others. Now I understood why they wanted only 5. They knew there are more than just our friends. I changed back to the human form. I prefer it that way. Even if it is not a curse to me, it still didn't feel normal to run with fur and have a nose like a dog. And I didn't want to even imagine how my smell would be if I would step inside waters. I ran across the rails until I reached the camp, the outpost, and met up with everyone. I slowed down again. The delivery outpost was very live, which I was happy about. I spoke to Magda first. I told her that the meat is here. Thank you. Our man and woman will have the last meal before they set off for battle.
Good day.
Then I told Marcus that his wife and his comrades were avenged. I thank you. Our people will no longer suffer under that monstrosity's yoke. I was happy that he was happy. Then I told Lorna
What is it?
that I freed some of our villagers, which she already knew. She sent me off to slay 4 infantries, Executor and Volnov, the mad slain. With the following words. The people are free, but the town is still occupied by the Forsaken. They are cut off from their main force, so if we drive them out, now is our chance. Their leader, Executor Colonel, is known for his unbound ruthlessness. Also among them is one of the Mad, a so-called scientist who carries out inhuman experiments on villagers too old to work the mines. Take care of them all. I knew what needed to be done. I let the beast take over and run towards my goal, slaughtering the enemy, slaughtering those who deserve to die. My trusty stick was ready for blood as well, and so was my little friend, the crocolisk, which I still haven't given a name. I had no suggestion so far. I slaughtered some infantry. I knew I had to weaken them before I take them on. For someone that had a camp like this, they were weak, weaker than I expected. I saw Executor, but first I had to take down the forces on his flank. It would not be wise to leave him alive. That Forsaken, he fought hard, but not as hard as my little friend. Prepared for a shot that would even lure the bestest of the enemy, but my beast, impatient for blood, decided to run towards him before me. I understood the beast had enough of this Forsaken as well. He wanted him dead just as much as I wanted. And so we took him on and killed that disgusting Forsaken. I smelled a science lab nearby and fell down the water. I had to get up somehow. I could tell he was nearby. Water. After the water shower, well, bathe. I smelled like a wet dog. It was not always pleasant, but I could survive. Even if my nose had sharpened its capability of smelling. Walnut attacked me out of nowhere, so I decided to give him an old treatment with the hook. He didn't like that much, but nonetheless, he survived. I killed him with my beast along my side. He died pathetic, like every scientist. It was time to escape. But not before we slaughtered one more of those disgusting Forsakens. Perhaps they could even give us their weapon. But then again, who would use that weapon? For I certainly not. I ran away. There were subtly too many. I was close to the camp once again, so I took my human form and my fancy hat and ran along the rails once again. I was ready to tell Lorna that we survived this.
Make it quick.
We have the people of Emberstone on our side, now thanks to you. You are welcome, Lorna. The time has come. We have rallied an army to every Gilnean. It is time to meet the enemy head on. Time to settle the score with Sylvanas and her Forsaken dogs once and for all. Liam is heading the assault from this gate. King Rayman and my father are leading the assault on the other district. You have crucial role to play in this as well. Take this rapier. Use it to inspire our men and women in combat. Speak to Krenan to take part in the battle for Gilnea City. We don't want talents, thank you. It is our time to join our brethren in fight.
How wrong they are! We will fight them in the fields until the last trench collapses and the last cannon is silenced. We will fight them on the streets until the last shot is fired.
I raised the sword.
No more ammunition. We'll
Made
crush
sure
their
that
skulls
everyone
with the
was
stones that
prepared
gave
for
us
battle.
We will fight them in the alleys until our knuckles are
And then I ran forward
and our rapiers lay on the ground shattered.
to begin the retaking of our city. The Forsaken could not have this city. I could not just wait for Prince Liam to finish his speech. And we started attacking them. One by one they died. Poison or not, beast on my side. We attacked them as one. The problemat was the Dark Elite Ranger. I had no idea how to deal with that. So for now, I rallied as much forces as I could. Maybe together with others, we might just have enough power to slay that beast that awaited us. There were people under attack, so I slaughtered every one of them that dared to lay a finger on the people of Gilneas. And then I raised the rapier once again, raising the potential of our forces by boosting their morale. There were way too many to fight for me. I had to go further. There was no chance for us to win by sheer force. The rapier might have boosted our ranks with morale, but that is not all what is needed. We also needed to get
Villagers were thankful to have
to
embassies
kill our
back.
target.
They brought
Got
us
it hot.
a little something to help against the Forsaken.
I had to run. Didn't know where to go, but I knew we had to slay the target. I was at the military district. Seemed like our target was just up there. I sneaked around the Dark Ranger. It seemed they completely ignored me until they couldn't harm me even one bit. Then I realized I didn't have the allies with me, and I had to run back. I was foolish. I was foolish. I left them behind. What's my strength good if I cannot use more than that? I saw cannons. I understood. I had to shoot some down. I was overjoyed. One could not say how much joy it brought to me to smell the cannon once again. And though I fired at the wrong position, the Dark Ranger managed to get in our backside. It was the one that I lured away. The few more dead remaining, I switched the cannon to have a better view and shot them down like a sniper from a rooftop, I guess. They were nothing more than cannon fodder. We ran towards our friendly captain, the man himself, Lord Darius Crowley. When we reached him, they had Forsaken, basically surrounded, but not completely. I took the damaged catapult. I knew I had to free our allies. Fluff me. I started shooting that beast that endangered our forces. But before that, I overran a few of those meddling ones. Thus, the beast managed to slay the cannon. I had to run and mount another one. I knew I couldn't defeat the beast without firearms. Lord Darius tried to get its attention, but he didn't succeed. I had to run. For now. In hopes of not dying. My crocodile was one of the few that saved my life. He took the beast head on, as he usually does to other enemies. The beast slowly dying to the cruel Guineans that we were, fell before our knees.
Join your father's forces there. They'll need our help against Sylvanas.
We ran towards the middle of the city. It was now important to get there. The Greyman Corrift awaited us with another allies. There were enemies. I shot them with poison and let them die. They did not impress me. I took the sneaky path around and met up with Prince Liam. But there was someone who I did not expect. The Banshee Queen herself. Bolstered the morale once again and started fighting her. First were her forces. The banshees of her had to die as well. They were tough foes. Prince Liam attacked. No, actually King Greyman. Lady Sylvanas. Lady. More like the living corpse. Now it was time to take her down as well. Or so it would seem. For she managed to escape the last breath. She could not defeat King Greymane whatsoever. As much as she tried, she has lost the battle. Prince Liam rallied to the help of King Greymane, but died. Sylvanas shot him and then fled, like the cowardless dog that she is. The city was ours once again, but at what price? What did we have to pay?
What is it?
Everything. We have driven the Forsaken back. We hold 3 out of the 4 districts, but at what cost? Lorna understood that as well. It's true then? Gilneas has lost her favorite son. We will mourn when this is all over, but not a day sooner. We will not allow ourselves the luxury of grief while the enemy still breathes Gilnean air. My father's men are ready to strike, while we still have the Banshee's Queen Trail. Just say the word if you are ready. Liam deserves a swift vengeance. Certainly he does. But I first sought Avenger, but I could not. I had to follow Tobias Mistmantle. Unprepared for anything. I just called my beast so we wouldn't be seen. Just like Tobias suggested. We were closer and closer. I and my fancy hat had followed Tobias to the place where Forsaken have camped. We listened to the conversation of couple Forsaken. Make sure everything is ready. The Orc's emissary is ready to meet Sylvanas inside the cathedral. Did you hear that? Sylvanas is headed to the cathedral. Let's hurry. Oh, we heard it. We made sure we were there before her. The lights dawn cathedral. Once a place of horror. Now it will be the place of vengeance. We hid in the water for a moment, just to hear what she had to say before she dies. We have waited and waited.
It
Sylvan.
appears you're losing control of Gilneas, Sylvanas. Garrosh fears he's going to have to carry out this invasion himself.
You can assure Garrosh that this is a minor setback. Our victory in Gilneas will be absolute.
You sound very confident, Your Majesty. I seriously hope you do not plan to use the plague. Garrosh has explicitly forbidden it.
You do well to watch your tone, General. Neither you nor Garrosh have anything to worry about. We've ceased all production of the plague, as he ordered. We'd never deploy it without his permission.
I will deliver my report to our leader, then. By your leave.
Go
my
with
lady.
honor, General.
My lady, should I order my men to stop the deployment of the plague? Or are we to continue as planned?
What kind of question is that? Of course we're deploying the plague, as planned.
This is
Let
not
the
good.
Gilneans enjoy their small
I knew
victory.
we had
Not
some
even
bad
their
news
bones will
to deliver.
remain by tomorrow.
We had to run. The plague,
As you
the
wish.
most vile weapon known to humankind. I had to return to Lorna and report. Our only option was to run. I called my dog. Still without a name. This poor boy has told Lorna of the
Make it
news.
quick.
The plague! Something so heinous that not even the orcs condone its use? Would say this warrants notifying King Greymane. Certainly. Tell Greymane that we have trackers on Sylvanas. Tell him about the plague. The decision will be his. Launch an all-out attack against the leader of the Forsaken, or try to evacuate survivors. I knew this was bad. I ran towards the king, mourning in his house. His son, still dead.
We owe much to the Alliance.
You present me with the most difficult choice of my life. I know, Your Highness. I know I do. As much as I want to exact swift and brutal revenge, I must honor my son's memory first. He cared for his people first and foremost. The Undertaker Pass goes underground below the Northern Gate River. We must prevent the plague from being deployed while we evacuate our men, women and children to Adric repose. We captured one of the Forsaken dreaded bombing bats. I want you to fly the infernal beast as best as you can and unleash hell upon those who seek to bring plague to our people. Hurry!
Trust your instincts.
I knew this was something I had to do, but I had to catch my breath for a moment. I will tell you the tale of my life once I catch my breath again.